Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the ICS Brooke House presentation. As you know, my name is Teacher Richard, and welcome to the Year 12 cohort of 2019 to 2020. It's been a tough year, I understand this, and this is why we've come up with an idea of running a university foundation program, because it's difficult at the moment. You understand that you cannot really travel anywhere in the world, and I know many of you would be interested in going to the UK to study, but as it stands at the moment with the current situation with the pandemic, it's very, very difficult for you to do that. So we've been talking to Brooke House College. As you may be aware, that we have a very good relationship with Brooke House, and we've had a very good relationship with Brooke House for many years. We've had many students who have gone to Brooke House College in Leicestershire, and there's one or two ICS students still in the college studying. Why Brooke House? Why do we choose to work very well with Brooke House? Is because they have a very good reputation of finding the educational pathway into a British university of good quality, and that's why we always encourage our students to go to Brooke House. Brooke House has been very kind to us in the past and has given us some fantastic scholarships to our students. However, nowadays, as you know, it's difficult to travel. The virus is completely out of control around the world at the moment, and we thought we would show you this opportunity, and many of you may be very interested to take this opportunity, and that is to run a university foundation program, the same as what Brooke House would run on their campus, and run it in the ICS IS campus. So you don't have to pay for traveling, you don't have to pay for boarding. The only thing that you will be paying for would be the actual program and the modules that you would need to take. And after 1 year, you'll be qualified to enter university in England. The qualification is what matters the most. And of course, the education too. Like I say, I understand that you've had a rough year with the Year 12 exams being cancelled, and some of you may be looking for this great opportunity. Today, I'm going to introduce you to you're going to meet the Brooke House team, the key people that run Brooke House and help you on your educational pathway. First of all, I would like to introduce Carolyn. She is the Director of Marketing, Miss Caroline Blackshaw. So here she is now, and she's going to tell you a little bit about the college.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Richard. Hello, everybody. Well, I'm so sorry that I'm not with you at ICS, because I'm usually come and visit you around this time of year, and I really enjoy coming to your school. So some of you may recognise me, some of you may not, but I have met lots of students previously from ICS and have had the great opportunity to welcome them in the UK when they've joined Brooke House. But now we're in a new situation, and we're looking at how we can continue to still give you these wonderful opportunities and doing things slightly different, as Mr. Richard explained. And it's left for me just to talk to you a little bit about how that university foundation might look and what the benefits are. So moving to the next slide. So where we are at the moment, we're based in Leicestershire in Market Harborough. We are an international school, and we've got a reputation that we're very proud of. And we have students from over 58 different countries with us. Could you move to the next slide, please? So for 53 years, we've been this international school, and it's family owned. And I think all the students and the staff feel that family feel whilst they're with Brooke House, whether they're based in the UK with us or at one of our franchise schools around the world. So we're very proud to have this high quality tuition that we deliver. We monitor academic and social welfare very closely and very seriously in order to ensure that you succeed well on your programmes. And we work to guide students through to university of their own choice. Now, that could be in the UK, it could be in Cambodia, or it could be anywhere around the world. So we're very much looking at the personal needs of the individual and where they'd like to go. And all students that are studying the Brooke House University Foundation programme, they're all treated very much as individuals, and we're looking at bespoking their education. So this is the sort of philosophy that we're looking to translate through to our franchise programmes that would be undertaken in ICS. Moving to the next slide. So a little bit about Market Harbour. It's a very typical British town, as you can see from the photos. So there are some very typical British buildings around. We've got the canal there, the old grammar school, and the high street that becomes part of your route way to school if you join us in Market Harbour. I think it's important to say that if you've watched any British television programmes, you probably recognise this sort of feel for what our towns look like. The next slide, please. So the British school system. Well, you're probably wondering where this University Foundation programme fits in terms of the structure. You are an international school at ICS, and I know that you can take the local examinations, the CAMIR, as well as the international examinations. But think about the university programme fitting on top of your IB or your CAMIR programs and examinations, and it's preparing you through to university. The next slide. So the benefits of the programme. Well, first of all, we really have got a history of having this successful programme for a long while. So 25 years it's been running very, very successfully. And because of this, a lot of organisations want us to be able to deliver it under their umbrella. And the programme offers an alternative route to studying at a world-class university. So it's a one-year programme instead of a two-year A-level programme. So there's a saving there on course fees. There's flexible study options. Mainly we have the two enrolment dates, September and January, but we have had to be flexible, especially through the pandemic, and we've worked to accepting students throughout the year, and we can work and flex towards that. Each student can choose subjects that would provide the knowledge and foundation for a specific degree or work towards their specific academic strengths. And on completion, the students would get their comprehensive academic programme, and it embeds that knowledge into this holistic programme that they would be working and moving into at university. So students are guaranteed progression. The minimum requirement is a 40% pass, and leading through to other percentages, but providing they have their English requirement and meet the conditions of the offer from university, they will get through to the university. The next slide is just coming up. So the curriculum's taught in small classes, and it's offering a personal experience for students. We get to know our students very well, and we want to guide them according to their strengths and support them in their weaknesses. So we do have and offer this personal experience in this coaching situation. Students are prepared not only in their knowledge, but they leave with the correct study skills in order for them to excel well at university. And their curriculum is also taught and we specialise with academic language skills. So if you're a little bit concerned about your study skills being up to the level for university and your language skills, we can arrange that for you. Don't worry about that, we support it. So you can choose from a variety of pathways. So these are often occupationally based. So law, medicine, pharmacy, engineering. And I know that Rachel's going to go into quite a little bit more detail on that. So I'd like to hand you to my colleague Rachel, who's going to talk to you about the detail of the programme and all the benefits as well of being involved and going through the programme in order to go through to university. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you very much, Carolyn. Excuse me. I'm going to basically go through the kind of the fundamentals and the structure of the foundation course. We've been very lucky, as Carolyn mentioned earlier, that we've been running the course for over 25 years. And this has given us an amount of pedigree in the UK. By this, I mean our reputation. And it's widely accepted by so many universities, and that builds and grows on each year. But also, it gives us the luxury of fine-tuning it. And getting it better and better. We ask for feedback from universities each year to ensure the curriculum is solid, it's up to date, it's covering all kind of key topics if it's relevant. So we're very proud of the foundation course because it is, I think it's a great programme, a one-year access course to university. So I'm just going to go through the details of the structure of the course and how it works. So the grading system is on a percentage basis, and as Carolyn again mentioned earlier, that to pass it's 40%. And merit 60% and distinction 70%. So depending on your percentage really relates to which university you'll go to and the type of university. And but the most thing is the fundamental part is that you can go to university with 40%, and each exam can be retaken, so it is possible to get the percentage that is required. And also, the structure of the course is broken up with 10 exams. So these 10 exams are averaged to give an overall percentage. So going over to the structure, so as ICS plan on running the programme, so for instance, this is the schedule that we would follow, the timetable, as you could see, starting on the 1st of February. We cover 30 weeks of study, obviously taking in mind the exams and public holidays. So there's 30 weeks of study. So the first set of exams after covering all the Unit 1 options is week commencing March the 29th. So students would choose their options, their studies, and then take the first set of exams the week commencing Monday the 29th, and then thereafter they commence the Unit 2 subject choices, and then again the students would take exams in June, Monday the 7th of June, but also they could retake the Unit 1 exams. So that gives students the opportunity. We're very aware that students may be studying new topics they've never studied before. So sometimes it takes a little bit of time just to get into the swing of things, learning how the course is being assessed. So hence the Unit 2, you can retake Unit 1 and then Unit 2 retakes. And then moving on, and then after the second set of exams, you'd go on to Unit 3. So the students would then study Unit 3, and then on week commencing Monday the 9th, the students could take the Unit 3 exams, the final set of exams, but also they could retake Unit 1 and Unit 2. So this enables students to maximise their learning and to get the best results they possibly can. So that is, and I think students find the course enjoyable because they can plot their progress. They can see how they're doing. So say if they want to get 70%, they can, after the first set of exams, you know, oh, I've got 65% in something, I've got 80% in another. So they can monitor their learning. And I think that's a very good motivation. And they can see their progress, the students can. So it's a great opportunity. So we then issue the certificates on 18th of August. And then those will be issued out to the universities in the UK, and then students can start planning their visas, accommodation, and everything they need to have in place to apply to university. So now I'm going to discuss a little bit about the course. So that was how it's going to run from beginning to end. So from the 1st of February to August. Now, subject choices. As I said, there are 10 exams, 10 units. Now, 2 of these are compulsory core subjects, and that's core maths and communication skills. Now, the reason these are core subjects is because universities and Brooke House have students from around the world. Universities like for all students to have a level of maths, so it kind of standardizes maths. Communication skills and provide students with study skills to study at university. So we're already preparing them to succeed at university. Thereafter, students then choose 8 subjects. So this in front of you gives you an example of the different subjects available. So we would guide and counsel the students for the right choices to prepare them for their university degree. So for instance, if a student wanted to study business at university and they were very good at maths, so we would say study business studies, business maths, and maybe accounting. If a student wanted to study business studies and they weren't necessarily very good at maths, we would say, okay, you could study business studies, law, and possibly sociology. So you can mix up on the strengths of the student. So our job is to counsel the students with the school and enable them to have the knowledge, but also prepare them to succeed. So and then obviously if a student's studying engineering, we would discuss the different options, whether it's mechanical engineering, civil engineering, petroleum engineering. So all sorts of different pathways, you know, arts-based. If your student wants to study architecture, again, we would guide them to the correct subject choices. Now, here's an example of a business timetable. So again, term 1, starting in February, core maths, communication skills, the core subjects. And then this specific student studied business management and accounting. And then they need IELTS. So we've put IELTS on their timetable. If a student doesn't need IELTS, they've already got an English qualification, we won't include that. So that would be term 1. Then the examinations would take place. Term 2. So the students continuing with business, then they want to study, decide to study psychology and continue with accounting. So it'd be accounting unit 2, but the first unit of psychology. Then it would be the term 2 examinations plus term 1 retakes, if that was required. Then after the exams, they would go on to term 3, which is the unit 3. So this students continued with business management, decided to continue psychology, so they moved on to unit 2, and finally accounting, and they've continued IELTS because they may not have taken their IELTS exam yet. Finally, the exams would take place again, so the student would take the unit 3 exams, but also would have the opportunity to take the exams for the unit 1 and unit 2 if required. So, as I mentioned earlier, it's the total results are broken up of 10 units. So 2 being the core subjects, and you can see below the rest are made up from the different subjects, providing 8 units, and then adding the core subjects would be 10, and then you average out the overall percentage. Thank you. Moving on to the next slide. So different pathways. Because we have been running the course for a long period of time and have wonderful relations with universities, we are in a very good position for our progressions and destinations to universities. And these vary. So to be honest, this is just a sample, just to give you an idea. So biochemistry at King's College. So we've got Leeds University, Loughborough, Central Lancashire, King's College. So there's a great big list. I won't go through everything. So this is, I've broken this down into STEM. So this is a science-based and medicine. So if students are interested in medicine, for instance, they can study at University of Central Lancashire, UCLan and Brunel in the UK. So we're building, each year, we're building pathways for the students. So our partner students overseas and obviously in the UK at Market Harborough have maximum opportunity at university and the best opportunities. I believe, though, it doesn't matter your academic ability, there is always a place for a student at the best university for them. Next slide, please. So moving on, this is an example of the finance and business pathway with the modules looking at subject choices which are very popular: accounting, business, maths, business studies, government politics, law. So possible progression, again, a lovely long list, but again, this is just a sample. So University of Bath, accounting and finance. There is business management, Nottingham Trent. I know City in London's very popular. Business economics at Surrey. So there's a very diverse choice of universities. And if a student says to me, can I go so-and-so, I check with the university, and he obviously usually answers yes, and we find out the percentage. So we provide a very kind of bespoke service for the students to support them. Now, this diagram in front of you indicates the humanities and social studies pathways. And again, the list of subject choices and possible progression. So law is very popular in this country. So Birmingham, Leicester, Swansea, Goldsmiths. So there's an array. This is just a sample. And then moving on to communications and media, again, very popular. London Metropolitan, Aston, Loughborough. So there's a really nice, diverse choice of universities. We also have very popular, which are the arts. So you can study from architecture through to contour, through to shoe design, fashion, and there's an array. So University of the Arts London, which is excellent, Kingston, there's Leeds Beckett, Gloucestershire. So there's a really nice mix for a university, because some students want to study at a campus university, some want to study in a city. So we listen and we guide for what we can, the students can move on to. So as I said, a very diverse number of universities, around about 125, and Russell Groups and the Times University top 30 choices as well. And increasingly, students studying overseas, as you know, is very, very popular, and obviously coming to the UK is very popular. So our job, I feel, is to prepare the students, listen to them, find out where they want to be, where they want to go, what they want to study, and then provide the right education for them and set them up to succeed. So this is just some of the list of universities, and there's a big long list. I won't go through them all, but it's diverse. It's something we're very proud of, because we're accepted by the majority of the universities in the UK, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales as well. Thank you, Wiley. So one of the parts of going to university, obviously, the application process. So working with the school, we will help, we will guide the step-by-step through the application process. And it's quite straightforward, but students need guidance, and it's about making the right choices and the right decisions for the individual students. So I won't go too much into that, but we do step-by-step guidance with the university admissions process. And then, as life at the moment isn't quite normal due to the current situation. But universities in the UK are taking very a kind of hands-on approach. They are following government guidelines. They're ensuring that students are protected. They're receiving the highest quality of education, even through these difficult times. We have some students that are, well, there are a lot of students that are still in the UK studying at university. Some are in their own countries. It's mixed, but majority of students are still coming to the UK and are studying at university. You know, some of them having online lessons at the moment, but things change. You know, some of it's blended learning and online, but the students are receiving exactly the same education, and they're following government guidelines and learning in a very safe environment. So well-being comes first. Obviously, we take that as a paramount, and so do the universities in the UK. So I think our job, I just wanted to explain that it is a very bespoke course for the learners. We're preparing individuals for university and ensuring they have the best education from Brooke House and ICS, also preparing them to succeed at university. And next slide. Now, I'm going to hand over to my colleague, Sarah Doy, who's just going to, her job in Brooke House is Director of Admissions, but she's just going to talk a little bit about studying and living in the UK. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Sarah, you're muted.
Good afternoon. Apologies for that delay. Thank you, Rachel, for your introduction. Here at Brooke House, I'm the Director of Admissions and also Student Support Services, and part of my job is to support our international students coming to Brooke House. Coming to the UK is an exciting prospect to study and live here, and it's also natural to have uncertainties in doing it. And like everything to do with your education, preparation is key. Now, if you're thinking about coming to the UK after completing a UFP course and going to university, there's a lot of things to think about. The first thing to remind you is that there is a lot of support there for you. All universities have a special office dedicated to international students. The team there, it's their job to provide you with advice on immigration, employment, funding, academic and personal welfare matters. The department is created really to make sure that your experience in the UK is a very good one. They'll also coordinate activities and events for international students. Most often they'll have separate pages on the website, or even a separate website for the international office where they list all their services and how you can get in touch with them. So as part of your preparation and your research in universities, do look very carefully at the international pages. I just have really 6 key areas that you do need to think about when coming across to the UK or considering coming across to the UK for university. I think number 1, which is really key, is planning your funding. So figuring out the costs and budgets that you have, and there's lots of aspects involved in there. You need to consider course fees, accommodation rent, food, internet, transport, flights home for when you do visit your family back home, socializing, of course, which is very important, and the costs associated with your course, textbooks, trips, etc. And there are a number of apps and online tools that you can access to help you with this. There's the International Student Calculator that I'd recommend, and that will help you forecast your regular expenses. Again, check out the local costings on the university's website that are going to give you some pinpoints of how you're going to be spending your money. Number 2, super important, organising your student visa. And you can apply for this up to 3 months before your course starts. The university is going to be preparing you and providing you with some documentation, your CAS, which is your Confirmation of Acceptance of Studies. You'll also need to prepare documents yourself, your proof of finances, your English language skills, etc. So make sure you familiarise yourself with the Tier 4 visa application system when you are thinking about your university applications. Healthcare. Obviously, never more than ever has healthcare been important with the pandemic in the UK. And as Rachel said, the universities are really safeguarding the students and making sure the students are safe and that they have access to everything they need. As part of your Tier 4 visa application, you're going to be paying an NHS surcharge, and that means you can access the National Health Service here in the UK. And that means you can see a doctor, you can use emergency services, and a variety of mental well-being services as well. You will need to register with the medical practice at your university and obtain an NHS number. And the university is going to guide you through this as part of your initial arrival at the university. Excuse me. Preparation for British life is also really important. Think about how your life will be in the UK and mentally prepare yourself for this. Yes, culturally, the UK is very diverse and we welcome people from all around the world. And at university, I'm sure you'll find fellow international students and also students from Cambodia itself. Most universities will have societies that you can join, and that will help you to meet like-minded individuals and also people from similar backgrounds as yourselves. Freshers Week at university, anyone will tell you, is something that you really do need to participate in, because that's going to help you integrate. It's going to help you make friends. The student union is very prominent in every university, and we would really recommend that you get involved in the student union and find out what is happening, and you'll open up a wide range of different opportunities in terms of meeting people. The fifth point is student accommodation. Again, a very key preparation point. You need to get this sorted out before you come to the UK, and the university and the international office are going to be integral in this. They're going to provide you with a lot of information about university accommodation choices. What we would always say and recommend is using the student halls option that they provide to you. They have particular accommodation for international students as well, and this will help you again to make friends in those really important first weeks at university. And the sixth point is working while studying. I started by talking about planning your funding. Going to university does, of course, have expenses. Your visa is going to allow you to work whilst you're here in the UK. The weekly hours and type of job are restricted. Typically, this is around 20 hours per week, but your visa will state what your restrictions are. And again, the student union will be advertising jobs that are available for students, both on campus in the local area. And you're going to need to set up a bank account, of course, if you're going to be working particularly, and they can help you with that. The final thing that I want to leave you really with is there's a lot of support out there for you when you go to university here in the UK. And we would just recommend that you make the most of those support networks, the international office, the British Council, everyone that's there to help and guide you in your journey to have a happy and successful experience studying and living in the UK. That's my guidance and advice for you, but I'm now going to pass over to the college's Managing Director, Mr. Giles Williams, for some final words for you all.
Good morning, everybody from the UK, and good afternoon, as I know it is in Phnom Penh. It's a pleasure to be able to address you briefly this afternoon with some final words about the possibility of studying the University Foundation course in Cambodia. I'm very grateful to our colleagues and partners at ICS who've given the college this opportunity. To put it into a wider context, Brooke House runs a number of University Foundation programs under franchise agreements in a number of countries. So in West Africa, in Central Europe, in other parts of Asia. And we have been doing this form of franchised course since 2003. So we have almost 20 years experience of what we would call in-country delivery. So of taking our course from the UK and supplanting it into a local context. I think the background to that is that hundreds of children have studied foundation in their own country and then transferred to the UK for their higher education. I think we all appreciate how difficult the pandemic has been. Certainly in the UK, we have suffered as much as almost anywhere, I think, in terms of the difficulties of the disease and the complications that the viral situation presents in the community. However, the things that I've learned through the pandemic situation has been that it's best to act quickly and decisively in terms of making decisions, and I think that this course taking place in Cambodia could offer yourselves the opportunity to get on the right track in terms of covering up issues that may have been with online learning and face-to-face learning and disruptions in learning, and securing a good university place for September 2021. So what we are trying to deliver is the opportunity for children who, now it's February, but over the next 6 months will be able to get themselves into a position where they can go to university in the UK in September 2021. So it is a fast track program to prepare you. It does require a lot of commitment, dedication, hard work on your part to get through the amount of material which is expected of you. So there's no shortcuts, and it will be hard work. But if you are able to complete the course successfully, you will be back on track in September 2021 in a UK university. And I think that there's a couple of advantages to that. One, obviously, the universities in the UK have found it difficult through the time of the pandemic to admit international students, and the number of international students in the UK has not seen the levels of growth that it had done previously. So also add into that the situation with Brexit, which means that students from the EU are now treated as international students rather than as specialist EU students. Those two facts, I think, all combine to mean that universities will be actively recruiting students for September 2021. And therefore, if you're an international student from Cambodia, for example, I think you'll be able to secure a strong, high-ranking, good university place because the universities will be very keen to re-establish themselves as global centres of learning post-COVID. In terms of the COVID picture and September 2021, the UK government anticipate that by August 2021, everybody in the UK will be vaccinated against the disease. That's part of the government's COVID rollout. So there is discussions, I know, at the minute at governmental level about the possibility of vaccinating international children who are international students who are coming to the UK as well. So if that process does indeed come into effect, then obviously, naturally, it would be a very safe environment for students from next academic year, because all of the people in the UK will have been vaccinated, and anybody arriving from overseas would obviously be tested and vaccinated as well. So, and if that is not the process in one's own country, obviously that makes an advantage. So I think that if you look at the picture, whilst COVID has been a desperate situation and a tragic situation in, sadly, millions of cases all over the world, as young people, you have to try to make the best of things, because you're the future of the world, without overstating it. So for those of you who do have worries, and it's natural to have worries, I hope that we can offer some reassurance, but also we can offer some hope as to the opportunities that may exist. And if you think that you could take your situation now, and over the course of 6 months, through hard work, good teaching, the strength of the partnership between Brooke House and ICS, that you could get yourself into a situation where you could go to university in the UK in September 2021 in a safe environment at a high-ranking institution, well on the way to gaining a good degree in a COVID-safe environment, and in 4 years' time be looking at entering the workplace in a brave new world, post-pandemic, new opportunities, then I think that that's an attractive option. I would reiterate what Teacher Richard said about the strength of the relationship between Brooke House and ICS. We've been working together for many years, and we obviously want this program to be successful. We want to help the students at ICS, and we want to deliver them a good course and thereby give them good opportunities. So I think you can be reassured that the partnership is strong, and therefore us in the UK want it to be a success. And obviously your teachers in ICS have been looking after you for many years, and they will want just what's best for your future. So in closing and trying to summarize what everybody has said, I think that the situation currently is difficult, but you can't just sit there and say, oh, this is really, really difficult, and I'm really upset, and I didn't get to go on holiday this year, and all the types of moans that we all have, and I'm no different. I wish I'd been able to go on holiday, and I wish I'd been able to go to more weddings and parties. So I think that we've all had our crosses to bear during this difficult time, but let's try and make the best of it. The foundation course will require hard work from you, but I think you'll find the material interesting. I think you'll find the material diverse. I think that you'll find the material at quite an adult level, which is appropriate to your age. We will be able to convert your qualifications into UK qualifications, subject to, and that will allow you to go to university in the UK. Huge range of universities in the UK, which will be very, very welcoming. Large range of courses, which will give you the opportunity, as my colleagues have said, to allow you to study whatever you takes your interest, because you'll work best in the areas of interest that you have. And I firmly believe that it's a good opportunity for you to try to get things back on track in this changing world and in these difficult times. So on behalf of everybody at Brooke House, please do consider the programme. Please do look into course options. Please do discuss it with your teachers. Your teachers will be familiar with education in the UK. And I hope that we may be able to follow up by seeing some of you in the UK newly qualified in September 2021. So that's everything from me and from Brooke House here in Market Harbour in Leicestershire, where it's a little bit chilly this morning compared to what you're probably enjoying in Cambodia. However, I believe we do have an opportunity for some questions, and I'm going to pass you on to Malice from ICS, who will chair the next stage of the meeting. Many thanks for your attention.
Okay, thank you, teacher. Greeting to student and parent. If you have any question, you can ask, and I'm feel free to answer all your questions.
Malice, there's a question that's come in by text that's asking, is there any requirements for me to be able to skip the foundation year?
Okay, can I reply them back in Khmer? Make sure they understand than this.
Okay, sure.
Okay. សម្រាប់សំណួរដែលគាត់សួរថាតើមាន requirement អីដែលអាច skip foundation សម្រាប់យើងថ្នាក់ទី12ដោយសារតែយើងត្រឹមតែបញ្ចប់ IGCSE អញ្ចឹងគឺយើងអត់អាច skip បានទេអញ្ចឹងយើងត្រូវរៀន foundation ហ្នឹងសិនណា Okay, I'm finished my answer for them. Do you have any more questions?
So, Malice, another question that's come in by text is, how well prepared are we at ICS for the foundation program at Brooke House ICS?
This is on the text.
Yes, it's come through now as a private message. So just asking about how well prepared is ICS and Brooke House for the University Foundation program. So, Malice, it's not on your screen because it's a private message, but the question is, how well prepared are we at ICS for the foundation program at Brooke House, between Brooke House and ICS?
Oh, okay, I will answer them. សម្រាប់សំណួរគឺតកតងទៅនឹង foundation ដែលយើងធ្វើឡើងជាមួយនឹង Brooke House ហើយនឹង ICS គឺយើងរៀននៅថ្នាក់ ចឹងសម្រាប់ដែលយើងត្រូវ enroll គឺយើងទទួលកូនសិស្សចាប់ពី5នាក់ឡើងទៅអញ្ចឹងដែលយើងរៀនដោយគ្រូនៅសាលា ICS ផ្ទាល់តែម្ដងហើយសម្រាប់ curriculum កម្មវិធីសិក្សាផ្សេងៗគឺយើងសិក្សាតាម follow តាម Brooke House program ទាំងអស់ Okay, that's all my question, my answer. Okay, do you got any question?
So that's all the questions at the moment, Maris. So perhaps you could tell the students and parents how to contact you should they have any more after this presentation, and then we will wrap things up. Yeah.
Okay. ដូច្នេះបើសិនជាយើងមានអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាមានសំណួរតែប៉ុណ្ណឹងយើងអាចបញ្ចប់ webinar session មួយនេះហើយបើសិនជាអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាមានសំណួរឬក៏ចង់មកពិភាក្សាផ្ទាល់អាចមកជួបខ្ញុំផ្ទាល់បាននៅសាលាអន្តរជាតិ ICS សម្រាប់កម្មវិធីសិក្សា foundation មួយនេះ So we can add our webinar session right now. I inform them about they can come and visit me at ICS International School for Foundation between Brooke House and ICS.